Oops. Hi guys, I'm gonna do another tarot reading for you for the general energies. And if you enjoy this reading, I appreciate it if you press like and subscribe. Subscribe really helps me a lot to get to 1,000, so I can get paid for doing these readings, which is like a help. So I appreciate it if you subscribe. Thank you. I hope you're having a great day. I'm just gonna go through a few decks and pull some cards. I know it's like an old person thing to talk about the weather, and I'm like legitimately in that category now. So. But anyway, I'll just say it. It's colder today, and I was enjoying that reprieve of like a few days of like summer in November again. But I know it's like it's not like right. But having lived in Canada most of my life, I don't mind a bit of unexpected summer. I wouldn't mind 6 months of that right now. But luckily in Quebec, like people know how to celebrate winter properly. So like I find when I used to live in Toronto, people would just complain about the winter. And then here it's like people cannot wait for it to snow because like you see people like pretending to cross country ski on like wheel kind of skis or whatever. Like they're just like they cannot wait. Like so it's kind of cute, like to spend winter in Quebec because they're not like in denial about it. It's like a good, I mean, it's some people's favorite season. And I mean, when you think about it, it's like the whole land is like made of crystal. It's like absorbing all the noises. You know, if you wipe out, it's a soft landing. Like, even when I've had like little car situations, it's always easier in the winter because like if you spin out, you just end up in a snowbank. It's like it's very graceful. Like, and you're just like into a pillow and you're like, okay, I'm just gonna. Whereas without the snow, it's like much harsher. So snow's not all bad if you have proper clothing and an attitude of like, let's do this. Having said that, I'm like super into the idea of living on a beach, at least for like January and February. So let's hope that happens. Okay. That's my weather talk. If you guys want to ask a question, go ahead and put it in the comments section. When I first started these live readings in whenever it was, October or something, I wasn't keen on answering questions because I hadn't really done that live. But then I find like it's fun and it's like kind of interesting, and the questions tend to dovetail nicely with the reading. So I'm open to it. Generally speaking, people ask about romantic stuff, and I'm usually talking about that kind of theme anyway in the reading, so it kind of goes together. Okay, it's gonna be the Hermetic Tarot. Oops. Oh my gosh, what are you doing? I just want to make sure these weren't like yesterday's cards. Yeah. Okay. All right, that was easy. Yeah, the cards are really flowing easily today. Yesterday it was kind of like stickier. What do I have here? What am I missing? Crystals. And so that's kind of interesting. There was like such romantic energy in the reading the last couple of days of like someone's really keen on asking for a commitment because they've cleared the deck. So oh my gosh, what so the cards are really talkative today. And last but not least, whatever. Golden Universal. Did I already do this? No. Oh my gosh, and I started this without getting my glasses. That's not smart. Oh, there they are. Okay, it's not that. It's achievable. I can see. All right, this guy and if you're tuning in for the first time, I do distance healing. I've been doing it since 2003. Generally my appointments with people are a psychic reading with distance healing and psychic healing and triple flame healing. I do custom kind of thing, and I keep learning too, so I keep upgrading my abilities because it's fun and interesting, and it's cool to see like how dramatically and quickly I can help somebody. Wait, just hang on. It's like really interesting work, and I enjoy it a lot. Okay, here we go. Oops, okay. Sacred Union. We had this yesterday too. So this is still in the energies. I'm just gonna look at the card today and see what I pick up. I'll let you look at it for a second. Okay, when I look at this card, I feel like the masculine energy is kind of worried about like all the different like little aspects of a relationship. Like, how are we gonna do this? How are we gonna do that? Like this sort of cloud of stuff is like all thoughts, and like they're making it more complicated than it needs to be. I mean, like the thing about like planning is like by planning, it's kind of like you're throwing logs in the creek, and you're trying to like narrow the creek or whatever instead of just letting the creek be the creek, and so it's stopping a bit of flow and trust and faith by trying to like overthink all the aspects of the relationship in advance. Because like maybe you've been doing stuff in the past where it's like, well, what if we argue over this stuff that I used to argue with all my other partners? It's like maybe you're not going to argue. Maybe this person is not prone to argument. Like, you know what I mean? Maybe some of the things that you're considering are not even like valid concerns, and they're just causing blocks in and limitations. Like I feel like this purple kind of ring around those ideas is like a wall you have, like the masculine has, around even proceeding. Because it's like, well, I mean, there's all this BS that we're going to have to deal with, so I don't even want that. Therefore, I'm not going to proceed. You know what I mean? Like they want this. They see that there's an ideal partnership here for them to have. I feel like there's some closeness, like you either know who each other is somehow, like or you've met before briefly, you know. There's some sort of like entanglement that's taken place, and it doesn't have to be in the physical, and depends on your situation. And there's sort of like light communication, but it's not passionate on the outside of this like core feeling of wanting to have this relationship. So it feels kind of like pretty dry. Meanwhile, this person is considering like actual full-on relationship, partnership, like marriage kind of thing. But it's like it's stuck in this limitation of like all this like sort of doubt, control, and all this stuff, because like they can't get out of like being hyper vigilant over like their prejudices about like how things are gonna go. And it's like, well, the only way you're gonna really know if you're sure about this person and you feel like they're worth the effort, it's like just be in it and like quit all these like different permutations of doubt and stuff. Like if you take that away, you're just together, and that's kind of nice and moving through life. So try to like ease up on this stuff and feel like try to just tune into the flow of the universe. And if you really relax all of your concerns and prejudices and you just feel like the flow of the universe, like, and let go, it's like, where do you feel like the universe is pushing you towards? Like, how does it feel? Like, how do your emotions feel? Do you feel like naturally you want to let go of some things and go towards others? Like, let that inform you. It's like it's a flow, but it's also a flow of information and insight. When you do that, like, it might seem like a waste of time to some people to space out, but like, I've made a career out of that. Like, like trusting these sort of ineffable feelings that like you get when you're connected with the flow, like the universal energies and stuff. All right, so there's that. That's still nice because it's like still relationship commitment, but it's like advice on how to like make that happen and get into your joy instead of spending a lifetime doubting and nitpicking like stuff that might not even be valid in this particular coupling. It's good. Then we have the Knight of Wands. So there is this feeling of wanting to come forward passionately and present something, but you still have your defenses up. But nonetheless, you want to come forward and present this offer, and you're like on your way. Because you've like achieved some wisdom and you've like learned lessons from other major relationships, and you're leaving those behind to like go after something else. But you're showing your face, so like you're being genuine and sweet, and you're like somewhat approachable, but you do have like some armor still, and you're kind of showing off. So there might be like a bit of ego presentation that like, if you're going to turn into the Lovers, like all in the Lovers card, they're not wearing anything. So all of these defenses would come down once you get off this horse. If you want to like come into that energy of I'm here, let's do this. Initially, there's just the presentation of the offer and passionately coming forward. And then we have the 5 of Wands. So there might be like a history of like you guys not communicating like that well. And if you don't get caught up in the aspect, like I was saying before, of like previous battles with other people, previous battles maybe with each other, there's a certain amount of like, okay, like let's drop it and start fresh. Like today's a new day to have this instead of like just this, you know, like you don't want to like never pursue this relationship because you're just gonna be devoted to like constantly going over how difficult things were in the past. Like, come on. So this is quite a beautiful relationship. So it's worth just being in the moment and going with the flow. If you feel guided to be with this person, and like what might seem like an argument or a battle can actually like turn into play. And if you understand, like, yes, we're different. Yes, we have different passions in our lives, but like we don't have to like see it as stressful. We can see it as like a fun kind of game or dance or something like that. It's all in like how you look at things. So, and like no two people are the same. So why would you be in like a lockstep with everybody, you know? In terms of your passions anyway, because like, but if you can see like it, how it benefits you to be different from the other person, then you won't see it as a battle. Like, because you don't really want to like be with someone who's your exact mirror reflection. I mean, you already have that in yourself. And maybe you can find someone who's complementary, but like not identical, you know. And stop seeing the world as like a battleground, but instead like, oh, you know, it's interesting how everybody has their own way of communicating. They have their own passions, and let me just see this as life's wonderful dance or party or whatever, instead of a battle of the wills every day, you know. It's really like mind over matter. Like if you think something's good, then you go after it. It's like it's worth it. It's sort of like, let's say you felt like you wanted to study medicine. It's not like, you know, it takes time. Like there's a lot of training involved. Like you have to study, you know, it's like it changes your lifestyle because you're like super busy all the time. And but you feel it's good and it's something that you want to achieve. And so there's a certain amount of like mind over matter. Like, okay, instead of chilling with my friends, like I'm going to study, you know, it's that kind of thing where it's like, how devoted are you to having something beautiful in your life? You have to have that sort of self-control to say like, okay, I'm going to change a bit here. I'm not going to be focusing on the negative and worrying about all the little details, being hyper about that. I just want this. I know it'll take a bit of work or like mental gymnastics to try to see things as like no longer a battle or like, oh, you're so different. I'm going to see this as just like an interchange of energies and passions and stuff. I'm going to view the world differently. I'm going to view this person differently from the position of gratitude and appreciation instead of critique that sort of cancels out any opportunity to be together. And I'm gonna, even though I'm a bit nervous about it, I'm gonna come forward and present this passionate offer. If anybody has a question, you can write it down and I'll probably get to it. But this is a general reading for everybody. Okay, if you're wondering. Okay, then we have source. Just a second. I'm deeply connected to an expression of the divine source of the universe. So it's like you're accepting this today. It's like the fact that you're aligning with source and realizing like I'm a part of this gives you confidence to move forward and like have this beautiful thing, because you have faith that source can kind of like deal with all the little stuff, and your job is just to enjoy life. And then we have Herkimer Diamond, dreams. I'm constantly manifesting my dreams into reality. Again, this takes some mental control where you're choosing to focus on what is good, like in your heart, in your mind, what you feel like is like the promised land within you, you know, like living from there instead of living from like whatever you see in this like 3D world, you know? Because like whatever we see in before us, like in this like this world, it's kind of like what we already created, what other people already created. And so in order to have things come about that you want that are different, you have to like start from the place of like from within you, where you imagine like different opportunities and situations and live from there and have the confidence that that is real and it will come about. But like unless you put your mind to like what you actually want, you're just going to end up with this hot mess of like awkward feelings and defenses and whatever. Really have to be train yourself to like think about what you actually want, so that you're brave enough to come forward and like ask for it and not see everything as like a hot mess. Instead, it's like everybody has their passions and that's okay. So connection with source will give you the confidence to go after your dreams. And then we have passion. Yeah, so right now you're very passionate about this. Red tourmaline, I'm the embodiment of passion. And then we also have Amazonite, life purpose. I'm fully aligned to and living my life purpose. And where do you like figure out your life purpose? It's like in your heart, it's in your imagination, it's through like signs and nudges you get in life. Like I find like when I'm not on my life purpose, like let's say I get fearful and I'm like, oh my god, I gotta just get like some job right now, like, and then I'm sure I'll like I'll do the work, but then it somehow like kicks my ass in some way, like because I wasn't doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And so I've learned the hard way that it's better to like do that work of checking in with like what, you know, what is my promised land within myself. And I need to stick to it because I don't want any more pain and suffering in my life. So it's like that's why I'm here sharing this work with you guys, because like I know that if I don't, I'm gonna like get some kind of like negative situation. Like I have to stay on my life purpose, and in the end when I do it, I'm happier. But there is a sort of like, you know, not everybody's, I mean there are a lot of people doing tarot readings on YouTube, but like it's not everybody's choice to like come out and say like, yeah, I do psychic work and I'm gonna heal you and like all this stuff. Like it's a bit different. So and therefore like unacceptable to some people, like family and long-term friends and whatever. So but it's like if you don't if you're not on your life purpose, then you can't have this like amazing like passionate like following your dreams, like connection with source, like full on like amazing life that source is trying to guide you to have your like ultimate experience. And so it's really important to like, I think like a lot of this reading is about being focused and determined to have the absolute best. And the only way to do that is to like see it inside you, like feel it, what's in your heart. What do you see in your imagination as like the best possible life for yourself? And believe it, you know? Like, let's say you're a shy person, but you've always felt like you should act. It's like, well, I mean, it seems to me that most of the people that have won the biggest awards in acting are in real life very shy people. Like, so it's like, why wouldn't you be perfect for that? Like, you can't just assume you're left out of the fun. Like, if you have this sort of message inside you that's saying, like, do this, and you feel it's good, like, try it and get on with that, and have courage. So this next card is courage. I'm courageous, and this energy supports me through my life. It's tiger's eye. So, like, the last 2 days we've had these cards saying like the real relationship is here. Like, it's, there's this, we're still dealing with someone's sort of barrier defense mechanisms about like they don't want to have like hurt from the past, but it's like it's not going to be like that, because this is like a divine partnership. And yeah, it might be unusual in some ways. It might, if you throw it to like the committee of like, what do you think? I mean, obviously people are going to come up with their doubts and everything, but like, it's about time, like, you make your decisions within yourself, because like the map, like the secret map to your amazing life is inside of you, and nobody else has that map. So you can't like have this precious thing, which is your life, and just let somebody else dictate to you like how to use that life. Don't get caught up in like people's disapproval. It's like they have their passion, they have their direction, and they're following it. And it's like you have yours, and it's actually not a fight. It's just people with different directions, different passions, all coexisting. We don't have to see everything as like disagreement. It's just like we all have our different filter in life, and we can't expect to be like completely all on the same page. We just have to like have self-respect and respect for others, and be in our power and go forth towards our passions bravely. Okay. Thank you for liking my glasses. Okay. All right. I'll answer your questions in a second. I'm just reading them. Okay. So then we have the Princess of Wands. So I feel like this person's kind of coyly thinking about like stepping forth into their power and expressing themselves creatively, and or just being like out in the world as someone creative, and it's kind of like alluring to them, and they know they have like what it takes to do it, but they're like on the verge of stepping forward and being that like passionate version of themselves, I feel like. So like in your question, Mara, of like, should I get into music? I feel like this could be like your energy right now, of just looking at the situation, being totally like strong enough, skilled enough to like go ahead and do that. And I think what you should do is like not be afraid of like getting burned by commentary and stuff. Again, it's sort of like what I was saying here before about everybody having their separate passions and opinions. It's like you can't control that, but what you can control is like loving yourself enough to give yourself this opportunity to be authentic. And if being authentic means you want to express yourself in music, then do that, because you appear to be ready. And if you're, instead of like focusing on how you could possibly get burned in this situation, you focus on connecting with your intuition, and how much growth and beauty and fun can come of it, and how much authenticity and strength you'll feel by doing it, then it'll really be like a fun process. And to not take so seriously like people's opinions or critiques and stuff, because like one person can say like, this is an affront to my musical taste, and another person can be like, it's about time, I'm so relieved this person came into the scene. And you know what I mean, like everyone's got their different opinion, and so it can't like, you can't like go up to these people and say like, you're wrong, you know, like I'm awesome. It's like everybody has their own opinions, and it's really not worth your time to try to like convert people. You just like be your awesome, hot, amazing self, and people can either deal with it or not deal with it. They can either like appreciate you or crumble or whatever. Like it's not your problem. So I do feel like there's, especially with your question, Mara, like if you don't get caught up in like what's trendy, like what people will think, what came before, whatever, like just think about like, how do you interact with music authentically, like just you and your, you know, thinking about it yourself, and just do that, and don't worry about like what's going on in the scene, because like people who make music or create from like what has already happened or what is successful, it's not going to blow people's minds. It's not going to be like exciting and fresh and authentic. Like even if like what people are making right now is like using computers or whatever, but you decide like, I'm going to do some like really intense focused like bluegrass music or whatever, like, or like a one stringed instrument, like that I only record in the woods or whatever, like that's still valid. Like if you do it authentically, like people are gonna dig it. So I feel like with this cape where there's like a bunch of distorted kind of information, it's like, don't get caught up in this confusing like overthinking stuff. Just stay with what's fluid and what like your connection with your power and what you want to create, that beautiful feeling of like, how do I want to feel when I'm done this project? I want to feel empowered and like, you know, I love myself so much, I allowed myself this expression and it makes me feel good, and it's like sort of a selfish, wonderful enterprise. And then some people are gonna like love that you did that, and people can talk whatever, it doesn't matter. So I, you know, this card isn't just for Mara, but it was good that she asked that question. But it's all about us individually feeling that comfort level of coming forward with our creativity and our passions, and not worrying so much about like what people are going to say, and not getting tripped up about like what else is going on in the world. Because like if we're going to be that way, we're going to feel like this is a fight instead of a dance of different people's passions in life, you know? So really today's reading seems to be a lot about staying conscious of the nature of the universe, which is loving, and that there's a lot of like, everybody has their different like frequency that they're doing, and it's on us to be authentic, find what's important to us, like inside our heart, inside our mind, like what is our personal promised land that we are like accepting and deciding to live, and how like us being in alignment with that reflects out into the world. Like because we have different expectations, when we yield to what we see as beautiful inside of us, then we're going to act differently, and it's going to create different situations in our lives and create like beautiful, what people would call miracles of change, where it's like, okay, no, I'm no longer obsessed about the yucky details of what happened in the past with my relationships. I have faith now that I deserve good things. So, and then you find yourself in this like awesome relationship, either with yourself or with other people. You know, you see a lot of comments. Wait. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, like shyness is Mara, shyness is just excitement. It's anticipation. Don't see it as a negative. Anytime our nerves come up, like you could label it fear. Like your body doesn't know the difference between fear and excitement. It's the same feeling. So anytime you feel fear, just go, ooh, I'm excited. You know, like I've played live music many times, and yeah, it's like you don't psych yourself up. It's like every performer has that thing of like nerves coming up, but you don't have to see it as negative. It's like, ooh, I like this. And just sort of and if you're shy, it's like, oh, clearly this is something I connect with because I'm feeling so much energy from it, and it's kind of like tightening my throat, whatever. Just enjoy it. Go like it's much better to have something make you feel shy and than to be bored all the time. So look forward to that. Look forward to that feeling of like, you know, and just be like, I'm clearly doing something that excites me because it's bringing all this energy. Because like in truth, we're all kind of like, we have our perfect strength. We have everything we need. Like life is just about uncovering that. It's not about like going out in the world and finding some kind of object that gives you power or like a person that makes you complete or something like that. You're already the ready made. And it's about like taking these layers of illusion off of yourself and discovering like this passionate beauty inside all of us where we do have the skills, as long as we're willing to let like other people's opinions flame all around us and still just sit with that and go like, yeah, I'm okay with that. Like, I'm okay. You guys have your opinions. Like, I can live with that. I can still be awesome and have a wonderful, beautiful life despite everybody else having something else going on. Okay? Because what is here for us is total fulfillment, which is amazing. And now we have the energy to like move forward with faith and achieve that. So that's really exciting. All right, I'm gonna put some of these cards to the side because I already did them. Okay, good. I'm glad that you liked what I had to say. So, okay. Yeah, and let me know if, like, I have my email below if you feel like letting me know how things go, like, or if you make some music, send me a link because I'm curious to hear it. Okay. So then we have the King of Wands. Okay, I'll let you look at it for another second. Yeah, so we keep getting this like awesome, loving people stepping into their power and just saying, you know what, like I love you, like this is what I want. Like, and if it's not like an actual physical partnership with someone, you're embracing what you truly love, like within yourself, and then that will in the end bring you the relationship that you truly desire. Because like we all have to do this within ourselves first. Like my inner king is embracing my inner queen, and I am like fully loved and supported for being myself. For like when people aren't wearing clothes, it's like you're being authentic. So I'm embracing my own authenticity and my own power, and then I'm gonna have this reflected in my real life. Because like when you walk by people and they like scan your energy, they can kind of sense like, oh, what are their insecurities? Are they ready for this? Or what, are they a player? What, where are they at? Kind of thing. But if you're in this space of like, I've already embraced like my inner king and queen, it's all good. People are going to scan that when you walk by and go like, whoa, this person is really ready for something good. And then you'll attract that into your life. Then we have the Ace of Pentacles. So it's like a solid new beginning. Like this feels really cozy. Like let's hang out at home. Like I want you in my life. I'm comfortable. Like there's no other people behind the curtain or whatever. And it's like you, me, and spirit together in harmony, like lighting the way and like lighting up this beautiful, solid new beginning. And that's pretty awesome. Like, it's kind of freaking me out, like how great these readings are. Like clearly you guys have done some work to achieve this state, whatever. Okay, and then focus upon your strengths. He's kind of handsome. My rule is I never date guys who have like nicer hair than me, and so like I don't know if I could date Apollo, but like if he got like a buzz cut, for sure, because he's cute. But focus upon your strengths. Yeah. So when you focus on your strengths, you can kind of go into any situation and just kind of do the right thing. Like he's not even looking at his hand, which is like creating the situation. He's like eyes locked with the person they're with, and like they just have faith that like they know the right thing is gonna be said or done. And so yeah, doing that inner work of like discovering what's in your heart, like what are your dreams, like who am I truly, and accepting that and not feeling like you have to be in lockstep with everybody else. That's like a power. Like you have your own unique energy signature. I don't know why it's so hard for me to say that. And that's like your life force, and that's very valuable, you know. And sometimes people, like, you know, when you go to like a new high school or like middle school and you walk in, like people size you up and like either they absorb you into like their group because they acknowledge like you have some kind of like power that they want to like illuminate their group, you know, whatever. Or you can just be independent and just be rocking it with like in any situation. And as adults, it's kind of like the same thing where it's like acknowledge that you have this like unique life force, and it has like information and skills and creativity that's unique to like anyone else. And once you've like fallen in love with that and embraced it and really understood it, then it's like you go through life like shining your light like Apollo, you know. And it's like very powerful and cool. And not only does it empower you, but it makes people wake up to the fact that they want to do this themselves. And so it's inspiring also. I'm just going to read the other. Wait. Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay, Sonali, I just read your thing. Is new love coming? Let me just think for a second. I feel like, Sonali, like there's a project that you need to do first to kind of like, I don't know if it's a creative project or there's something you need to do first, and then that puts you in a position of meeting this new person. Like sometimes if we like, I don't know, write a book or like put out an album or like join a club or like there's some like physical activity like thing you have to do for it. You're not gonna like sit at home and have this new love come to you, like is what I'm saying. Like there's some either effort or different thing you have to do, like joining a group or whatever, to make this new love come into your life. And it involves you finding your inner confidence, because if you don't do that little prep work beforehand, you're gonna end up with someone who is fine, but like you're not like that into them, and then when you're not totally into someone, you end up actually like treating them badly, and then it's like not that fun of an experience. So the more you can like love yourself at first, like be the person, like the idealized version of yourself. And it's like, what would the idealized version of myself do? It's like, does she go to the gym? Does she like dress nice? Like, is she careful with her words? Like, what are the things that you want to like tune up before you go into the situation, so you can have like the highest version of like the kind of partnership you want? Because if you just go in like same old, it's not going to be like this new thing that you want. And I know that that might be frustrating sometimes, to like not give you your candy like immediately, you know. But it's like going to be that much like sweeter, to like stay with this metaphor, if you do this work of like being the most awesome version of yourself first. Like sometimes I do like do way too many screenshots of like nice images I like how, you know, like nice outfits, like cool makeup, whatever, and I've stockpiled like way too many images like that. But it's taught me a lot over time. It's like, oh, that's how I want to dress, like, or that's how like whatever I want to comport myself. And so doing some of that inner work, studying yourself, studying what you like what do you know, compare how you wish you were with how you are at this moment, and try to bridge that gap, you know, like before you go seeking like a partnership, is my advice for you. Okay, so then we have, are you seeing the situation accurately? We had this card yesterday. So maybe there's still some of that aspect of putting on like a public face, or like how you want people to perceive you, but it's not super authentic. So I encourage you again today to try to like really, like I just was saying for Mara, I mean not for Sonali rather, instead of sort of acting like you are already this thing, it's like you have to like really feel it. It's like if you're, let's say you're the moon, just be like, I'm the moon, like this is who I am, like I glow at night, like, you know, I like pull the tides, and what, you know, this is what I do, like, and it might not be like what people in the news are doing or whatever, but it's still your role, and it's beautiful and important. Maybe you're like a bit behind the scenes a bit, and you only show up at night most of the time, but it's still like your beautiful power, and it's like you don't have to pretend to be something that you're not, like putting on this sort of fake, I sort of see like a fake smile, and know that like you can go the long haul and like be the eagle, you know, and you can fly to great heights being this like version of yourself that's like, I appreciate what I truly am, and that's my power, and that's gonna like take me to great heights, and I'll endure, and I'll be like, you know, crying with joy from super high up in the sky, and able to like get into any situation I want, you know, if I'm authentic. So sort of drop the facade and like enjoy that work of like going in and going like, well, who am I, you know? It's like, I know there's other readers out there who are more like charismatic or engaging, but it's just like I'm just me, and I just gotta do me, you know, like hopefully people are into it. It's like all I can do is embrace what I do, you know. So I encourage you guys to do that, and the cards are pushing you in that direction too. Like, you know, are you seeing yourself accurately, you know? Then we have the sun, because we're going to This is like really beautiful energy. You know, it's the happiest card in the deck. Like it's time to like really fully enjoy life. I know it might seem like a weird time to suggest that because with like quarantines and everything, but like we're enjoying this beautiful authenticity that we've rediscovered with all this like inner work that we've done, and it's allowing us to like that inner kind of work that we did and that like celebration of self is then going to like reflect and shine in the world, and it's going to change everything, you know. And then we have the Seven of Swords, which typically means like someone being sneaky and like taking what they ought not take, you know. But I'm kind of seeing this card as like, you know, you were hanging out with certain people before, like in these tents and stuff. Like you had to kind of set up before of like who your friends were and like what your activities were and everything like that. And it seemed pretty stable. But now you're kind of going like, I think I want to just do my thing. Like, you know, I'm going to sort of take all these lessons I've learned that maybe like were in the form of arguments or information and stuff like that. And I'm just going to quietly leave them to their life there, you know, and sneak off and do my thing. And you know, they're going to be fine. But there's like, you know, it's like leaving the same old kind of thing, you know, in order to like go towards this beautiful, happy authenticity. Like you don't have to like never talk to people again, but it's like you're deciding like with the Chariot. Sorry, so many cards. Oh my god. Like, you know, the Chariot's a major arcana, so this is really actually happening. Like you've made the choice to move forward. And it's from like knowing, connecting with the divine, like knowing your solid self. And it's like you and Source are like in agreement over this to have like everything you want. You know, if you're able to step forward in your passions and not feel burned by people's critique and everything like that. It's just like let it burn, like say what you want, you know. Okay, all right, then we have a few of these Mother Peace cards. I'm just gonna read. Did I miss anybody? Dun, dun, dun. Okay, so we have Cactus 44. Okay, I'll think about your question for a sec while I read some cards. So then we have Strength. Yeah, so I feel like the same thing with the Princess of Wands. Like we're kind of in this place. It's also a bit like this, like where everybody has their separate passions. You have your passion. You're trying not to get like burned from people. Not trying not to, but you're like accepting the fact that other people have their other differing opinions, but it's like okay, and it's like a kind of a interchange or like a dance that we're like living in this life. And it's like you're also in this situation, I feel like, sitting with other people, their different ways. It's like, you know, this is you, but like other people are like the raccoon or the dog or the birds or whatever. Like we're all different, we're all coexisting, and that's okay. Like we don't all have to be the same, and that's your strength. Because now we have like a new cycle, like some things have come to an end. Like we can't repeat like the same old way anymore. Like it's the universe has said like, okay, that's over. Like, and like quarantine and all that stuff has called like an end that we could not control. So it's like now we're in like a new beginning, and it's cause for celebration, and we should like welcome in this new energy of our authentic self, like going after our dreams. Because it's like, why are we really here? You know, when everything can change in a second, we really need to depend on like what's in our heart, what is our personal promised land that we carry within ourselves, that we can uncover and live in this life if we yield to it and say like, that's real, you know. That is my like foundation, and from that I live my life, you know. And so it's like a brand new beginning. Oh my gosh, we have again like another 10 to have like total fulfillment. Like, check that out. It's like what is perfect for you in the end is perfect for everybody else. So when you step into that energy, it benefits everyone. Like initially they might be like, what are you doing? Like, you know, they might be like, where's that card? Where's the one where he's sneaking off with the swords? What deck was that? I don't know, some of the cards like fell on the ground. Okay, this one. It's like people might be like, that's so different. Like, what are you doing? Where are you going? You know, and it's like, I'm going to like be my awesome version of myself. And then they're like, oh yeah, like I want to do that too. Like, let's do this. You know, like it has like a ripple effect of helping because when you're doing the right thing, you're like, your puzzle piece is like in the right spot, and then it makes the whole picture be able to complete better, you know. So it's like really awesome that you're going towards this like fulfillment of your heart's desire. And we have the 10 of Cups and we have the 9 of Cups. So you have your personal fulfillment, and then like everybody else's too, you know. So there might be a stage where you're like enjoying and indulging in like what is it that I love, and it's kind of like all these figures are you like experimenting in different ways, like engaging with this wonderful energy. And to some people it might seem like kind of selfish or something, but it's like you have to explore that in order to have this like perfect fulfillment. Because if you never engage with what is like authentic within you, how are you gonna know it? Like, how are you gonna like have this thing unless you like take the time to like enjoy, well, what is it? Who am I? Like, what are these energies that I'm walking around with all the time, either suppressing or like some people drink or smoke up to like, I don't know if smoking up is like an 80s term, but that's my, I'm from the last century. But anyway, like ways to subdue this personal power and like flow that's within you, that's like profound and powerful and like wonderful and like everything. Sometimes it's okay to like face that like completely soberly and go like, okay, like bring it. Like I want to feel my authentic self, and like really swimming in it and playing with it, like, you know, enjoying it, so that you can have this like fulfillment of your wish, you know. And some people might find that like very mysterious about you. It's like, what are they doing? Like, we had this card yesterday too. Okay, yeah. So I want to answer that question before I finish. What do they feel about you? Wait, I'll take my glasses off. Let me think. I know Aquarius, like, like I'm a Virgo, and I find like Aquarius is like a handful. Like they're fun and stuff, but for me personally, like when I find out someone's Aquarius or Sagittarius or like there's a couple signs Libra, I'm like, okay. Just so let me see. I feel like the Aquarius like has a lot on their mind, like a lot, and it's like they're in a crazy kind of LA traffic jam, kind of like, oh my gosh, like they have a lot to do and they can't really focus on like the pleasures in life, let's say. I feel like the way to open that path is to like just beautify your life, and like in a way that's not like you're not sending text messages of like, look at this vase of flowers I put in my house, isn't it beautiful and welcoming? Like, don't be like that. Just do that stuff for yourself, and that vibe change will just be an automatic magnet. Like, assume that things unspoken still matter, like it still can be read and by people. Even if people don't consider themselves psychic, they still feel energy all the time. And so any work that you do on yourself, like people recognize, like that either they'll like think of you or whatever it is, like you're resonating with them. So I kind of feel like have mercy on this person, this Aquarius, that they have so much to do, and focus on loving yourself and being like that best person for yourself. And I feel like beautifying your surroundings is like important. I feel like eating like a bit lighter, like more fruits and like colorful kind of foods is also good. Like eating a bit less but healthier or something like that is also coming in. So it's sort of like all encompassing kind of beautifying and bringing more color into your life, like food wise. Like if you can afford flowers, great. That type of thing. Because sometimes we need to put less pressure on people so that they can like have a moment to think and then like gather up their strength. Because in a way, like sending people texts is like draining their energy because you're taking away their focus. So if we're being demanding about needing attention, you're like weakening this warrior, you know? So if you want like this wonderful feeling of someone rushing in on horseback, like we had in that card, the only way this guy's gonna like come into the scene is if he has the strength and the focus, and like there's no bunch of people talking to him, you know, going on. So that's what I pick up. I hope that's helpful. Okay, and then yeah, so people are gonna find it kind of mysterious why you're going inward, why you're embracing this like specialness about you, because you didn't do it before, but it's part of you, and people are actually going to find it very mysterious and sensual and like interesting and unique, and you know it's going to be good. And your glow up might come in like a different way than they thought. Like it's not going to be in the typical fashion because you're being authentic. And what you begin today on this path of self-discovery will grow and grow and become more and more and more interesting. It's like an amazing first step into like true living, you know, in a way that is like all encompassing and connected, and it's like super worthwhile, I feel. And it's you might feel like it's a bit of an awkward first step to go in this direction, but it's like I see in this disc here that has concentric circles. It's like you're starting in the middle and it's just going to grow and grow and grow and grow, and it's going to be this like incredible ball of energy in front of your heart that's just like, oh my gosh, like, you know, it's that feeling that we were talking about before of like feeling shy or nervous. It's like because there's this like giant ball of like beautiful energy and passion that's right in front of me. Like, how amazing is that? And instead of like shutting down and going, oh my God, I feel something, I'm going to shut down, I'm going to retreat. It's like, don't. Enjoy that. Be that energy. Like, be that like you know, kind of, it's not an actual fire, but it feels like a fire sometimes. And you might be afraid, like, oh my gosh, it's going to burn me up. It's like, no, that's part of me. Part of me is having this like invisible fire of passion that's always on. And it's like, get used to it. Like, instead of shutting it down and running away from it, go like, no, this is always flowing in me, and it like lights me up, and it's wonderful. And I'm going to just like calm down, like breathe into it and allow it to be part of me. Cause it's like, I'm no longer going to fight this part of myself. It's beautiful, expressive, strong, like, you know, and it can, because the fire is kind of powerful, it can kind of burn away, like, pardon my French, like the bullshit around us. Cause it's like some people can't handle it when you glow up, you know? And that's okay, because they were there to teach you lessons in the place you were before, and we don't need to like focus on criticizing that. It's just like, we're gonna incorporate this part of ourselves. We're gonna incorporate the mystery and the passion into our daily lives now, and we're gonna breathe through it. Like like I had three kids, like all natural childbirth, and it's like really, it's a scary, you know, it hurts and stuff, and it's a bit mysterious and scary, but it's like wonderful. And that, and also like, instead of resisting that like force that your body's just going like, I'm gonna do this now whether you like it or not, and all your muscles are like doing stuff that you didn't ask them to do. And it's like, instead of resisting that and freaking out and going like, oh my god, I'm in pain, it's like you breathe through it, and like you allow your body to be that powerful that it's like doing something, like, you know what I mean? And it's the same thing with your passions and your connection with source. It might feel like overly strong, but it's just like breathe through it and be like, this is part of me. I'm actually much more powerful than I've allowed myself to be in the past, and I'm gonna like incorporate it, you know? Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the reading, and I look forward to seeing you guys again. If you press subscribe, that really helps my channel grow, and it gets me to 1,000 where I get like some revenue from YouTube, which would be fun. All right, I'll take care. Bye.